guys, it's Channon Rose, and in today's video, I am going to tell you the story about how my boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend. Now, this is my ex-boyfriend from a long time ago, but I'm going to tell you the story of how I found out my best friend and my boyfriend were hooking up while my boyfriend and I were together. Years ago, I had a boyfriend. He was my first love, like my first true love. I was so head over heels in love with him. And I also had a best friend that I had known since grade school. Like, we went to elementary school together. We had been best friends for a long time. I used to spend the night at her house all the time. She would spend the night at my house. We practically grew up together. We were very close. Well, we had grown up and I had gotten an apartment and my boyfriend was living with me at the time. It was a pretty nice apartment. There were 3 bedrooms and one of the bedrooms in my house was empty. We were just using it as like a guest bedroom. And my best friend at the time was having some like hardship. She lost her job, she didn't have any money, she didn't have anywhere to live, and so, you know, I'm the type of person that's like, oh my god, well, come live with me until you can get back on your feet. That's just like the type of person I am. I didn't make her pay rent, so I was just trying to help her out. Well, I was the only one working. My boyfriend wasn't working, my best friend wasn't working, and, you know, I was gone working all the time. And so my best friend and my boyfriend spent a lot of time together, but I trusted them, and I never thought that they would ever do something like that to me. I just thought like everything was great and, you know, life was good. Well, little did I know that not even after a week of her moving in, my boyfriend and my best friend had been hooking up behind my back like the whole time. So here I am working my fucking ass off to pay rent for both of them that are both not working. I'm even buying groceries for them. Like whenever we go to the movies, I would pay for all their stuff because clearly they were unemployed and I was the only one that had money. So, you know, I was basically really taking care of them and trying to help them and be like a good friend to her and a good girlfriend to my boyfriend. I didn't find out, you guys, that this had been going on for a long time. Like, I didn't find out till way later. I have no idea like how they were doing this and I didn't see it at all. I mean, it was really bad. So eventually I had gone away on a trip and my boyfriend and my best friend were supposed to be picking me up in my car because they dropped me off at the airport in my car and they were supposed to pick me up at the airport when I got back. Well, when I had got back, I was at LAX at the airport waiting for them to pick me up, and I'm texting, I'm calling, and I'm sitting at the airport for no joke, you guys, like 2 hours, like freaking out, thinking that something happened to them, they got in a car accident, I can't get a hold of any of them. So I ended up calling one of my other friends, who we used to go to her house a lot also and hang out. And I call her and I'm like, have you heard from them? And she's like, no, but she's like, Shannon, there's something I have to tell you. And I was like, what? Beep and Beep have been hooking up. My heart stopped, like my heart like sank into my stomach. I had like a pit in my stomach. I immediately started to feel sick and like couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, it literally made me sick. I was so in love with my boyfriend, and this is one of my best friends that I grew up with, that I've known for so long, and here I am like being such a good person to both of them, and they're hooking up behind my back. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Like, this is a joke. I'm like, you're joking, right? And she's like, no. She's like, I'm surprised, like, it took you so long to find this out. She's like, I thought somebody had told you. And I'm like, no. So they were hooking up behind my back and doing it in front of my other friends, and no one was saying anything to me. So I ended up calling a taxi and getting a taxi ride back to my house, which was all the way in the valley, which is pretty far from the LAX airport. And I get home and my car is there. Mind you, these fuckers don't have a car either, okay? They're like broke, unemployed, smoking weed all day, and basically living off of me. So my car is at the house and I walk into the house, no one's home. And I'm like, this is just insane. All of a sudden I get another phone call from the girl again, the same girl that I had called to ask like if they had heard from them. She's like, Shannon, there's something else I wanted to tell you. She's like, I don't know how to say this. And I'm like, what else could you possibly say right now that's worse than what you've already told me? She's like, I had a threesome with them. What? Like, honestly, I would just got quiet. I said what and got quiet, and there was like silence on the phone for a long time because I was like, what is my life right now? Is this seriously happening to me? is everybody just fucking me over right now after like all the nice things I do for everybody? Like, why is this happening to me? She's like, I'm really sorry. She's like, I just had to get that off my chest. I was like, when did all of this happen? And she's like, well, we had threesome 2 nights ago. So basically they had a party over at her house while I was out working so that they could have a roof over their head and food on the table to eat. They are partying it up and having threesomes with my other friend. I was pissed. I was so pissed, you guys. Like, honestly, I just could not believe that all of this was happening. For one, I was heartbroken. I think I was more hurt than anything. But I was also so angry. Just felt so betrayed and backstabbed and just like, my life was just like crumbling all around me, you know? All their shit was in my house. I basically had to just wait for them to eventually come home, confront them, to get the fuck out of my condo. So eventually they end up coming back together, of course. I confront them and they didn't even try to deny it. They were just like, yeah, like, sorry. And I'm like, wow, you guys are shitty people. Like, you are both shitty human beings. Like, I don't want you in my life anymore. Ever since then, I haven't talked to them. The worst part about this is that that wasn't the first time that this guy had cheated on me. I should have known the first 2 times he cheated on me, because he cheated on me with one of my other friends too. And then he cheated on me with this other girl, and I still stayed with him because I'm an idiot and I was just in love with him. And, you know, they say once a cheater, always a cheater. Well, this motherfucker cheated on me 3 times, and I said 3 strikes, you're out. So after that 3rd time, I was just like, dude, you're done, sorry. I just love that things happen for a reason, because I was so head over heels for this guy. But now, you guys, guess what? He's a loser. He looks like shit, and he's older than me, still not married, still doesn't have kids. Not that like being married and have kids is like the life that you're supposed to lead, you know, that's not for everyone, but I know that that's what he wanted, and he still doesn't have it, and he's just a piece of shit. So karma is a bitch. I'm glad I didn't end up with him anyways, because clearly that's not somebody that I want to be with. And if you guys have ever been in a relationship where someone has cheated on you or treated you like shit, get out of that relationship. No matter how much you love that person, they do not love or reciprocate that love back for you by cheating on you, and you don't want to be with somebody like that. Trust me, there's somebody better out there for you. You might think like, oh my god, like no one's gonna love me like the way this person did, or I'll never be able to find anybody that's gonna love me. It's not true. I promise you. Get out of those shitty relationships. Make yourself single, girlfriend, and go out there and find yourself a good man. It might take a while. It took me a while, but I eventually found Mr. Right, and I love him, and, you know, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes bad things happen to us, but it's for the better in the end. I hope you guys liked this story. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias. I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook, just all under Channon Rose. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video. Mwah!